Ever wonder what your brain's been hiding in reserve for your final curtain call? Turns out it might be saving its best performance for last. Just when families think they've said their goodbyes to someone lost in the fog of dementia, something inexplicable happens in those final hours. Imagine you're sitting beside your grandmother, who hasn't recognized you in years. She's been wandering through fractured memories, unable to recall your name or her own past. Then suddenly, hours before she passes, her eyes clear and she's telling you stories from your childhood with perfect detail. You're experiencing what doctors call terminal lucidity, and nobody can explain why it happens. How does a brain that's been ravaged by Alzheimer's, riddled with plaques and tangles, suddenly flip a switch and work perfectly again? It's like a computer with a fried motherboard booting up one last time to display all its files in crystal clarity. The science we have doesn't account for this. Here's where it gets strange. These aren't isolated incidents or family folklore. Medical literature documents cases going back centuries, from patients with severe dementia to those with massive brain tumors and structural damage. People who couldn't form sentences are suddenly giving eloquent speeches. Those who forgot their children's faces are planning detailed conversations about the future they won't see. Picture the neuroscientist trying to explain this at a conference. They've got their brain scans showing deteriorated tissue, their models of neural networks, their theories about consciousness. Then someone asks about terminal lucidity, and suddenly it's all awkward coughing, and we need more research. Because the physical brain that shouldn't work is working, and that's not supposed to happen. The mechanisms we rely on to understand consciousness start crumbling here. If your memories are stored in neural connections that have been destroyed, how are you accessing them? If the hardware is broken, where's the software running? Some researchers suggest dormant neurons activate. Others propose alternative neural pathways. But these are educated guesses wrapped in scientific language. You've got families witnessing these moments, describing them as miracles or proof of the soul. Meanwhile, physicians are quietly noting it in charts and moving on because there's no framework to process it. The phenomenon challenges everything from materialism to our models of how memory works. Cue the awkward silence in neuroscience departments when someone brings up cases like the woman with virtually no functional brain tissue who spoke clearly about her life before dying. Or the man whose dementia was so severe he was nonverbal for years, then spent his last day reciting poetry. These aren't embellished stories, they're documented medical observations that don't fit our neat explanations. Before you dismiss this as rare, studies suggest it might happen in up to 15% of dementia patients. That's potentially millions of people worldwide experiencing this paradox, yet it barely registers in mainstream medical education. Most doctors learn about it anecdotally, if at all, because admitting we can't explain it means admitting gaps in fundamental neuroscience. Some say it reveals consciousness exists beyond physical brain structures. Others insist there's a biological explanation we haven't discovered yet. Both camps are essentially saying the same thing: we don't actually know. The difference is just how comfortable you are with mystery versus how hard you'll work to avoid it. Here's the adaptation happening now. Researchers are finally starting to study this systematically, rather than treating it as anomalous noise in the data. New theories propose everything from quantum effects in microtubules to some form of brain reserve we can't currently measure. Each explanation raises more questions than it answers. The medical community quietly acknowledges these cases while simultaneously having no protocol for them. When it happens, nurses and doctors witness it, families treasure it, and then everyone moves on, because what else can you do? You can't predict it, can't induce it, can't explain it. It's a phenomenon that exists in the gap between what we observe and what we understand. Despite decades of brain imaging and neural mapping, we're still encountering moments where consciousness does things our models say are impossible. The brain that was supposed to be too damaged to function suddenly functions perfectly. The memories that were supposed to be erased are suddenly accessible. And then, just as mysteriously, it's over. Fast forward to today, and you'll find online support groups where families share these experiences, researchers publishing small studies with careful language, and philosophers having field days with the implications. The phenomenon persists in this strange space between medical fact and existential mystery, too documented to dismiss, but too inexplicable to integrate into standard models. What makes terminal lucidity particularly unsettling for materialist neuroscience isn't just that it happens, it's what it suggests about the relationship between brain and mind. If severe damage doesn't always eliminate function, what does that mean for everything we think we know about consciousness being produced by neurons? Nobody in the field wants to touch those implications with a 10-foot electrode. You've got families being told their loved one's brain is essentially gone, then watching that person emerge fully present one final time. The emotional weight of these moments makes them hard to study objectively, but that doesn't make them less real or less challenging to existing frameworks. Science thrives on reproducible phenomena. It can measure and predict. Terminal lucidity offers neither. The irony is thick enough to cut with a scalpel. We've mapped the brain, identified regions for memory and cognition, documented how damage correlates with dysfunction. Then along comes a phenomenon where all that damage temporarily doesn't matter, and we're left theorizing in the dark like it's 1,823 instead of 2,026. Some researchers are now proposing that consciousness might not be as localized as we thought, that the brain might be more like a receiver than a generator. Others double down on finding the biological mechanism, convinced it's just hiding in plain sight. Both approaches acknowledge the same uncomfortable truth: we're missing something fundamental. Watch what happens when this topic comes up in medical settings. There's recognition, sure, but also a quick pivot back to conventional territory. Because engaging seriously with terminal lucidity means questioning assumptions that entire careers are built on. It's easier to catalog it as a curiosity than confront what it might mean. The phenomenon adapts to our scrutiny by remaining just as mysterious under investigation as it was in anecdotal reports. Modern medicine throws monitoring equipment at it, and the mystery persists. We document the cases more carefully now, but documentation isn't explanation. The gap between observation and understanding hasn't narrowed. Here's where we are today. Terminal lucidity keeps happening, keeps being witnessed and documented, keeps defying explanation. Families experience these profound moments of connection. Medical professionals note them in records, and neuroscience continues its awkward dance between acknowledging the phenomenon exists and having no viable theory for why. That's the paradox behind the medical mystery. Your brain might be saving its clearest moment for when it should be most impaired, and nobody can tell you how or why. But just wait, as more researchers finally take this seriously, the explanations they come up with might challenge everything we thought we knew about consciousness itself. And wouldn't that be the ultimate twist in the final act?